Good afternoon, students. So today I am available to have any query you have during this course, and hopefully I think you are enjoying the course. So I'll be available for an hour. If you have any query, I think raise, you can write it down, or otherwise you can you can ask directly the questions. If you do not have any query, I received few questions on Gmail. So maybe I'll reply first those questions. So this question is from Surjit Singh, like which of the material can be recycled by many times? So see, still there are few materials which can recycle for 2 times, 3 times, but still I think that research nobody has done how many times a particular material can be recyclable. But take example like plastic, paper, rubber, leather, these are all recyclable matter. So until now is not known how many times it can be recycled, but at least 2 times, 3 times it could be possible. So another question is from Rishabh Dubey. Please explain about hall container and stationary container. So as I discussed in the class also, like the hall container means your entire container is getting hauled off. Okay. And the stationary containers mean only the waste is getting hauled off, not the entire container or dustbin. So that is the difference between two one. So earlier, most of the developing country had a stationary container system because it was easy, very cheap system. But now under Swachh Bharat mission, and even well before, I think once these PPP projects has been started in India long back in 2006. Many of private authorities, when they started the collection started with the hall container system because more amount of waste used to be hauled off. When generation rate is high, mostly they will go for hall container system. Is another question is from same student. Why India is lagging municipal secondary? I don't understand this one. Okay, I think this one question has come from Vedika. Whether biomedical waste considered as municipal solid waste? No, biomedical waste don't call as a municipal solid waste. Although when I explained that the waste which is generating from the municipal area normally called as a municipal waste, but biomedical waste is considered separately. So if you ask, like there is a special rule is also available, how to collect, how to manage, how to treat, how to dispose biomedical waste. That I think the first time it has came in 1998. Later on is revised in 2006, and also it has revised along with the municipal solid waste in 2016. So because my biomedical waste have different characteristics, and obviously I think you people are aware this biomedical waste considered to be a hazardous waste. I'll have one lecture on biomedical waste also, 1 or 2 lecture in this course in the latter part, just to give the information about what when we say the biomedical waste, don't consider exactly hazardous waste because there is only I think 20 to 30% will be the hazardous waste, and that for to separate it out from the normal waste like plastic and other materials from that is somewhat difficult, and there is some particular private authorities which will collect this biomedical waste, and also the treatment is not like municipal solid waste. there that idea won't come up like dry waste, wet waste. There are different codings will be available for different waste. Normally, is a 5 different type of color coding will be there, and based on that color coding, the disposal getting finalized. And mostly the disposal is a incineration or combustion mostly, and maybe it's because they are utilizing good amount of plastic products also. So those will go to the recycling processes. So to answer your question, like means biomedical waste don't consider as an municipal solid waste. That is a special one. Just another like e-waste. That is also the separate waste. Although is generating in the municipal area, but e-waste also has a different ruling, different collection, and different disposal system. That also the first time India was the first country of e-waste management rule in 2011, which has also getting revised in 2016 under Swachh Bharat Mission. So that is also separated out. When we say the municipal solid waste mostly is considered household waste and commercial waste. Is a major one. Okay, Vedika. Again, is it the color coding? Just mention followed throughout India. Yes, throughout India. There are 5 color coding. Just wait for that class where I'll discuss about the colors also, and what kind of waste has to be deposit in those dustbin. So when you visit any hospital nowadays, you'll have I think they won't put it those dustbin in the open area, but in the backside, I think you'll have that different color coding dustbins. Many hospitals they'll have 3 colors. Suppose there is small clinics are there, they'll have 3 colors color code dustbin. But mostly the big hospitals they'll have five different ones. And even because there are 1 or 2 color code waste that will go to the combustion facility, incineration facility, and the same facility will have recycling facility also. So they'll recycle those plastic, and also they'll have one ETP also, the effluent treatment facility, because whatever the liquid biomedical waste will be there, that has to treat in their ETP plants. And when I'm saying the ruling for entire India, everyone has to follow that. If suppose some hospital is not following that, the pollution control board will put a lot of penalties on them. So at least in class 1 cities, class 1 cities and class 2 cities also, we have that incineration facility, biomedical incineration facility. Whether plastic have been segregated based on the 5? No. These 5 classes is that is for municipal solid waste. This one is only the plastic. Those plastic will come up, and I think there's one of the dustbin out of these 5 color. The one will be only on that plastic material. So their sub-segregation they won't do. Mostly that plastic in that incineration facility, they'll have one size reduction facility. and that reduced size material, they'll give it to the recycling facility, recycling people. Only that pathogen has to be removed out first. Okay. So whatever waste they're receiving in the incineration facility, first those pathogens or any disease parameter, they have to remove out first, whether it's go for incineration or any kind of recycling processes. In India, I think many of the data is not available because working with biomedical waste also is difficult in research institute like in IIT or NITs. Because we have to follow that particular rule. Biomedical considered to be hazardous waste, so those facilities are required. Now I think whatever the quantification studies is available with the pollution control boards, Central Pollution Control Board, because to run the hospital facility, they have to have proper they have to have the proper permission from the pollution control board. So, and then only I think they'll get the permission from the pollution control board. Until that, no one can have the proper hospital, no one can have incineration facility until unless pollution control board will provide the facility or approval.
Thank you,
I think if no one is having question, I'll take one question is from one question from Rishabh Dubey, who has sent, like, what is the biggest absolute in managing MSW in India? And my first question is why India is lagging municipal solid waste management compared to foreign country. I think Rishabh, the major problem in India, like we have different characteristic of the waste, and our major, if you ask me personally, I think we have huge amount of biological waste, that wet waste. If you compare with the foreign country or developed country, their biological concentration goes to only 20% or maybe 30% maximum. But our biological waste now we are saying that is a 50%, but sometimes goes to 60-70%. And once this biological material or biological waste is mixed with the dry waste, either in the plastic, paper or something, if it is in mixed way, no one can treat it that. No one can have incineration, no one can have proper disposal facility. So that was the idea about Swachh Bharat mission. First get it segregate or separate it out in the dry and wet waste fractions at the household level. And we also don't have much success stories onto that. Until unless we have the segregation, then we have to follow the proper the management. I think once there is a segregation, then for biological waste, we need to have proper compost facility or biogas facility. If the dry waste is getting segregated, so obviously will be required some recycling facility or combustion facility. That is the problem one. Once we have the segregated waste, we don't have those technologies available with us. And if we have the technology, we don't have proper segregation. That is the problem. And I think this is what the biggest that is the second question is what is biggest obstacle in managing MSW. The major the problem is the segregation. Once we have the segregation, then I think those treatment facility we already have a lot of research studies available. Like take example of compost, biogas. So if you ask me, many times it says that what is the success parameter for solid waste? My proper will say segregation, but I'll always say I'll always says that is not only segregation followed by composting facility, composting or management of wet waste. If that is possible, remaining waste, we have a lot of informal sector for recycling plastic and many other recycling factors. So, and only that 20% will goes to the dustbin disposal site. So, and that is also the idea of Swachh Bharat mission also, whatever waste is compostable, whatever waste is recyclable, whatever waste will be treatable, that should not goes to the dustbin area, disposal sites. So if you plan in this way, only 20% will receive in the dumping site. And that is also not recyclable, not compostable. Means no leachate production, no gas pollutions will come out from that facility. But it's very difficult to plan by the any corporations. It's very difficult. So this is another question from Vedika on the as a general question whether recycling of plastic is done after segregation into different classes. Yes, you are very correct. The all kind of plastic can't be recycled together. That PVC, PET, and the other different there 5-6 classes of plastic that has to be sub-segregated. Then only recycling is possible. So that's what this new word for segregation at household level, wet waste, dry waste. Again, that dry waste has to sub-segregated. Sub-segregated. When I'm saying sub-segregated means again that composition has to be sub-segregated. Different plastic. Even the paper also different. There are 4 to 5 different kind of papers also will come up. That is also has to be segregated. In India, mostly that is done by manually only. So we don't have proper formal recycling facilities much. Maybe I think Indore has now because of Indore, I think many more cities are coming with those recycling facility. But there also, I think the major segregation will done by the sub-segregation by manually only. One the wet waste because their densities are same. Difficult to get segregated by machines or any technology. So manual segregation normally followed. This one question was, what is the material of biscuit cover? Those are recyclable. Okay. Only the plastic which is 40 micron. That can't be recyclable, but remaining is recyclable. So that's what I think you heard of. I think when even our Prime Minister also when the after Swachh Bharat mission he had asked don't use the single use plastic. So single usable single time usable plastic can't be possible to recycle. Remaining is mostly is recyclable. So nowadays, if you go to the shops also, whatever the plastic actually the single-use plastic is banned in India. But still, I think most of the cities they do not have any alternate with them, and remaining that the thick plastics are somewhat costly. But now, suppose if you are going to any shops and all, they'll give their plastic bags and they will charge you also maybe 5 rupees or 10 rupees. And they nowadays I think they're asking, do you require the bags? because you have to pay for that. But in the class 2 town, class 3 town, छोटे शहरों में is they won't understand this issue. And because the monitoring is by local authority or pollution control board, it's not possible for entire city people. So that was the discussion started, like get connect with the people to people. So until unless the every household is able to understand, until that is not possible to get success into that. So how to recycle medical pills cover? This is also under the medical one, medical waste. So normally what is happening if you visit the any biomedical insertion facility, so these kind of medicines or pills is manually is getting removed out, getting segregated. Not only pills, but suppose there is a plastic bottle is there or glass bottles, that liquid also manually, even the cover also is removed out, and the bottle also is removed specially it getting. And that's what when I said there is a ETP, effluent treatment facility or wastewater treatment facility. This waste, liquid waste, will go to the wastewater treatment facility or ETP, and remaining this paper or plastic is getting for recyclable. If glass is there, is good for recycling, is good cost, and plastic is also going for either combustion facility or recycling facilities. So similarly, these pills also or medicines also, because these are remaining are the plastic material, plastic or I think those materials are directly they can put it in the, if it is not recyclable, is they'll put it in the incineration facility. And like for hard material like these medicines and all, if it is a liquid, they'll remove out. But there is direct pills and these things are there. If they won't find is easy, or they'll get some kind of financial benefit for that. Otherwise, everything they'll put it in the incineration facility. And incineration also, they have to have the incineration at 850 degrees centigrade. So all these material get combusted out easily. This was one question from Udan Suraksha. So he's asking role of aerodromes in implementation of SWM. I don't aware much onto that. What is aerodromes? Now actually for collection we use those GIS or GIS facility just for collection, so that cheaper way we can collect the waste. And if any technologies we can possible to have, because collection is a major challenge for most of the local authorities. So everyone is looking for that GIS platform, some maps, kind of facility. If it is possible with the local authority, they can have proper collection system. And once the collection is there, then the latter part will come up, like treatment and followed by disposal. So I'm seeing here this Abhinay is also there. So if you have any query or any question in your mind, if it is not related to course also, you can ask. Solid waste or even any environmental, because this solid waste management course normally is floated for the environmental engineering students. Is there a system for recycling of growth material? Yes, growth material. Yeah. I think, yeah, I have one lecture also. I think there is, I think we'll talk on recycling. But there mostly, I think we're targeting on plastic, metal, and glass. These are the major concentration we're receiving. Cloth material, normally we won't find much in much concentration. But I think if you want to see this waste, you visit Surat city. Surat is known for fabricates all. So mostly when you visit the disposal site, no, mostly we'll find the plastic material. But in Surat, you'll find the lot of cloth material. And those are recycled because this is a biological matter. I won't say it's a biological matter, but it's an organic material. So it can degrade also and can have recycle also. So normally this cloth material, uh, uh, that is also getting utilized in different purposes. Exactly, I don't know much onto that part, but because I don't do any research onto that material, because concentration is very low. Like even I shared about few things on the rubber, leather, because in India the rack picking is very common. Rack picking is, I think there are a lot of people are collecting those recyclable matter. So mostly those materials is getting separated out. There are some studies like almost 10 to 20% of those recycling material is getting segregated by the rack pickers. And there are thousands of informal recycling facilities are running on India, but mostly it's for the plastic and few more for e-waste and these kind of special waste uh, recyclings is very common. This is another thermocol waste. Thermocol, I don't have much information onto that because the recycling, uh, which I think that concentrate again the same one. There are some research papers available where the thermocol waste or cloth material or the other difference with that rubber like rubber leather, they are normally utilizing for structural purpose, construction purposes. Even thermocol also they are utilizing in some other construction purposes. Uh, so, but but you won't find much literature also onto this. But laboratory scale, there are some studies available where they have utilized thermocol waste for geomembrane construction. Geo, yeah, geomembrane. Nowadays, a lot of research is going on geoenvironmental engineering. So they also do some studies on this kind of material. But you won't find the informal sector also is not available onto this kind of waste material, because their target will be the mostly will be where the concentration is more and easily can find it out. See, Vedika, you are asking question mostly on recycling one only. If you have any query on different waste material, be able to answer. Because India is known for those biological waste treatment facility. Like India was the country uh, which shared everyone that composting facility, which was started in 1950, 1954, the Indore method, Bangalore method. So India is very known for biogas facility. Now there are a lot of bio CNG plants are coming up in India. Yeah. So and those are really important for us. Like when we say compost means your final product will be the compost. And already we found that this chemical fertilizer is creating a lot of issue with our vegetables and our food, the metal problem. So utilizing, and I think everyone is liking if someone is saying that is a organic vegetables or organic food we're creating. So we need that compost. And parallelly also we need the energy production. So from waste, this biological waste itself, we can generate good amount of energy by creating that methane. Uh, so I think now government also took uh, forward about to production of more methane production facility or bio CNG production facility, and also the compost facility. This Abhinav is asking one question on our Gmail. What are the negative effect of recycling plastic? No, there is no negative effect. Please remember, even I think here Vedika also is asking like recycling one, but there is no negative effect of recycling plastic. What will happen? Because when you recycle, their compressive strength will reduce. So suppose take example like if any plastic material like any product you are coming up. So if you are creating from recycling material, the strength won't be that one. Okay, so but there is no negative effect of recycling plastic. No, no. There is no pollutants are coming up into that. Vedika is asking like wet plastic like leftover food packets seems to be a problem for the rat pickers and even waste collector from the municipality. Yes, you are very correct. Very correct. Like the leftover food, whatever the plastic, even paper, we called as in contaminated waste. Suppose is a plastic, if it is contaminated with food, if it is a paper contaminated with food, that is a contaminated material. This even rack pickers also is not collecting that. Even the corporation also create lot of problem for that. And what is happening at a household level? We'll purchase the dustbin, household dustbin, and we'll put up a plastic first. We'll put up a plastic bag, then we'll deposit the biological waste into that. Now what will happen? This kind of plastic rack pickers won't collect. Never. They won't touch because they're inside biological. Now that biological waste, normally if you deposit in the open area, it will get degrade. Natural degradation could be possible. Maybe after few years, I think it will come up in the compost form also. But once you have put up in the plastic unit, plastic bags, that plastic also won't be get for recyclable. Even that biological waste or wet waste also won't get degrade properly because the condition will be anaerobic. So both have a lot of issue, and this is what our local authorities or corporations are facing problem. That's what when this under Swachh Bharat mission, these thoughts has been given properly. If you have the biological waste, use put it separately, don't mix into that. And but now see India also is like a developed country. We get lot of packaged food. So in packaged food also is come up in the material, plastic material, and but I think those even those people also know, the industry people also know which are that plastic food companies. They are trying to utilize replace this plastic with polymer, but because polymer is degradable. But still, I think that study just has started. Just means I think just 10 years before, and now people are trying that whether polymer could be one of the alternate of plastic. So laboratory scale, I think we got a lot of success onto the polymer utilization. But problem is that if the polymer will utilize for food packets, I think there also still that small plastic layer is required, because otherwise if it's a degradable one, so how many days it can survive? I don't know. So I think that is still not come up in the industrial scale. But uh, some private company, they started to utilize polymer, like you know about the Starbucks. They had started in India. Tata वाले जो है Starbucks. They started first to providing that polymer kind of material. कॉफी जो पिलाते हैं वो पॉलीमर के ग्लास में. So those are recyclable, complete 100% not recycle, is a degradable, 100% degradable. Normally the polymer does not have proper strength, so need to provide some kind of chemicals into that to get that strength. Is there any law that the generators of packing material, milk or etc. should receive it back? Currently there is no ruling, but I think there are many of the private company, like there's an example. Like I was talking about the Starbucks, they started to receive those their plastic materials. Milk cover and all, no, they is very difficult. But just remember, milk cover, the bags and all, milk cover bags and all is getting recycled. Okay, you can visit in many cities. That the milk covers. I think recently I had also visited few facilities in Surat. In most of the cities, you will find the milk cover, milk, because milk cover, the small quantity of milk will be there. They'll be removed out. First, it's getting removed out, and remaining the covers is getting recycled. But there is no law or rule. There are private operators are there. Some company they started uh, uh, to collect their own material. So, like I had maybe in the class also I shared about this mobile phones company. Uh, they also need to collect their own left out phone or old phones, so that they can again recycle that and again can produce that. But there is no ruling in India right now. And this is all informal sectors mostly. But milk cover and all, I think they're formal sector. For the formally, I think those big company they are trying it. They required, I think, their connections with the local authority. If the local authority here, I think there are three people are there together. Like one is the local authority, corporation, another is pollution control board, and these industry people. If corporation and pollution control board have proper discussion, they can call some of the private authorities to you start this facility. We'll try to provide you that kind of material. Something like that discussion is required. There is a role of pollution control board is very important parallelly with the local authority. So that commissioner of that city is important. So if you heard of Indore, when that particular commissioner was there, he was the one I think who started the entire schemes, and the implementation is somewhat difficult. Once you started with the small scale, you can extend with the entire city. So here that idea has come up, like start the decentralized facility. So having one centralized facility for one particular city will never beneficial, never beneficial. So start with small facilities for some of the local areas. Like suppose the city is having 50 watts. So let's get start with 1 watt, 2 watts, and learn the lesson, because every city is different. If some projects can run in Indore, doesn't mean that it will work for anywhere else. Because all physical characteristics, local people, many things are different. India is a very big country. So I think the local authority or that private entrepreneurs, they the lesson first with the decentralized facility and they extend those facilities in different area. By that way, they can reduce the collection cost also, because collection cost is huge in India when you talk about centralized facility. So the decentralized, but city area getting those facilities is very difficult. But that is possible still. At least class 2, class 3 towns is possible. So there is another question from the Ganesh. What is the requirement of a drop-off center? As such, the requirement, I think the drop-off center should be have from the formal sector, not by informal sector. If it is running by formal sector, means that a lot of information could be possible. You need to get the permission, first the approval from the pollution control board. So drop-off center, and there also, I think if someone is dropping any kind of waste, because pollution control board won't give the approval until unless you will have treatment facility, or how best you will be able to recycle that or get treated that. So until unless those kind of facility are with you, pollution control board won't provide any give the any permission from drop-off center. This is not very popular in India, but many ASEAN countries and some developed country, they have this kind of facility, drop-off center. I think in India also we can have this kind of drop-off center, but formally has to be run first. Formally, local authority has to help. If not in not formal way, but informal way also, the local authority has to be there with them to have the drop-off center. Because if the drop-off center means any kind of material will be there, and because that I won't say is a hazardous facility, but I think the other requirements could be like proper the disease cover area. I think should be there in that particular drop-off center. Vedic, I have another question, like what is the best make of material of all container? Best best make of material means you are talking about the fabrication of all container. Normally, these whole containers could be either plastic or metal. I think plastic containers could be more beneficial. The loading will be easy. But problem with that, if suppose there is no waste into those plastic containers, then in India there are a lot of issues. But mostly in India we use metal only. Now I think that discussion also started. Can we live without dustbin in city? Yes, it could be possible. So we don't have discussion on all container, stationary container directly, because already waste is collected from that small vehicle, auto tippers. They can directly go to the another facility which can have proper small recycling facility or compost facility. So we don't require in that cases, you don't require those containers or dustbin in the city. These become very popular in developed country. India, I don't see in that. I think, but that discussion started in many of the corporations. Hmm. So what you are saying that Kochi, there is no public dustbin. Yeah. Yes, I think many after Swachh Bharat mission, that thought has started. So some cities they targeted. If it is not possible in the entire city, at least those major commercial areas, if it is possible, that is also good one. Like 50-60% of city area, that could be possible. Again, I'm saying that is depend on corporation to corporation, and again depend on city characteristics. Maybe I think you're talking about Kochi, so there are a lot of uh, foreign people abroad. I think many people are coming up, so they can plan it. I think they had planned it like that. Like if you visit Indore also, they don't have public dustbins in the entire city. So how I shared about, like, from household waste is going directly to the transfer stations, and through transfer stations it goes to the treatment facility. So no dustbin. But finding the transfer station site in the city, yeah, that is the problematic. It's not easy. Because if any nearby residents, they'll always protest for that, to have such kind of facility. So normally I shared about in this way, like if any ward area have the park, park, if it is there, you can create that facility inside the park, close to park. There, I think nobody can protest for that. Nobody will have, nobody will against about that. So there, I think now also there will be a different lectures on the treatment one. Still, we didn't cover in this course the treatment facility. Once you start the treatment facility, we'll have complete understanding on composting, biogas facility, the recycling facility, and especially on recycling facility, which followed by the remaining one will goes to the disposal facility. So in disposal also, we have to take care of that leachate facility, how we can treat it, that what based research has been done up onto that leachate one, and the whatever the gas, like you heard of in Delhi, there are a lot of air pollution issues. One is that dump sites also creating a lot of air pollution, especially particulate matters and all. And the remaining that also the biomining, there are some questions also had been asked, what is biomining? So I think that project is really, I think in India, the most of the city they had done, already done that. And even I think you heard of in Delhi, there are three big dump sites are getting mined off, biomined off, and that material is utilizing for road construction. So I think that lectures also will be there. And also, I think until unless you know the financing or the local authority, how they 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 they, they understand this waste management, few lectures will be onto that. And especially when you are in the waste management, I think you need to really understand that PPP, public-private partnership projects, which also the complete information is available on public-private partnership projects in waste management that you will study in the last part of this course. Okay. Will we have lecture on alternative for plastic packing material? No, we don't have any lecture onto that. But Vedika, if you want something onto this, I can share about like polymer could be the alternate of plastic packaging material. If you want, I think you shared email to me. I'll share few literature onto that one, polymer one. Even me and one of our professor in IIT Guwahati, we have one center of sustainable polymer where we are running the MTech and PhD program on sustainable polymer. So there we are targeting like to create the polymer packaging materials. And especially there are some students are working on to the food packaging cover material, because there that how polymer can be utilized so that their strength and also no pollution should add up into food material through that polymer. I think that research is going on now. But in our course, I think that discussion is not there. But if you are really interested onto this, is a very good area to get research. In India, we got a lot of funding onto these kind of projects. So in our that particular center, we got I think crores of funds available, where we're and this work is somewhat difficult also because once you have to look onto that, whether it should not get any issue with the food material or whatever the packed material, and parallelly it should be a degradable also. Mostly it's called as a compostable material. So I can share you about some of my research paper also with you. I think we had done some studies during composting. This polymer can be degradable. We got good success onto that. But formally, they are not utilizing commercially. But now I think slowly that is coming up now. So, okay, if you do not have any question, we can close this session. It's good, I think. Vedika, you had a lot of, you are the only one who had asked question in this live session. Few questions come up in Gmail also. So hopefully, I think next lecture, you'll have a lot of query. You can write me on Gmail also. You and the next month also we'll again sit here, and 1 hour I'll be with you guys. Get the benefit from me. We do a lot of research in IIT. Especially if you visit, come to IIT Guwahati, we have one of the best facility of solid waste management facility, where big reactors we had designed, fabricated our own system, and we can do a lot of experiments in this one. Okay. So thank you, and we'll meet in next month for same online session. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye bye.